take it from wherever I get it. Love is love. Back when he used to do photographs, you know, after the show, a couple of years ago, there was a guy taking a picture with me and his wife was taking a photograph. And I just got the impression that he liked me, like, a lot. I said to him, I said, "You really like me, don't you?" And his wife said, "You have no idea." So I mentioned Jesus in that last song, and a guy pulled me up a little while ago, a younger chap. He said, "Oh, you shouldn't be talking about the Lord in your songs, you know." And I think he was quite a serious chap, you know. And I said to him, "You know, it's fine, you know. I don't think the Lord would mind. I like the Lord, you know, and I think that he likes me. I know he loves me, but he loves everybody. You know, he likes me. I think that's better. As a matter of fact, I think he likes me a bit more than a lot of the people that really, really like him. Just a guess. But I was playing in Scotland, near my hometown, a few years ago, speaking of the Lord, and I was in this small town called West Kilbride. It's near where I used to live when I was a boy, and I was looking in this shop, and I was just standing there, kind of looking at these shops that looked like they've been there for decades or centuries even. And this older woman walked out of her shop, just a few shops down. She started talking to this younger guy who was about 30 years old. And they were chatting, just making conversation. And she said, "Oh, hello, David." He said, "Oh, hello, Mrs. Simpkins, how are you?" And they were chatting away. She said, "Oh, I'll bring that book around here I borrowed on Thursday." And they were just kind of making small talk. And they were chatting there for a while. They didn't see me at all. But I could hear the conversation. And eventually he said, "Well, look, I need to go, Mrs. Simpkins. I've got to study very hard today for an exam I've got in the morning." And she said, "Okay, that's fine, son, off you go." So off he went, off they both went. And I just walked around the corner to have a coffee in an outdoor cafe with Ollie, who was the tour manager. We're just sitting there, the two of us. And this guy walks down the street, same guy, same younger guy. Comes, he sees me, you know, and he stops and he walks over. He said, "Excuse me, sir." I said, "Yes." He said, "You wouldn't happen to be Colin Hay from the band Men at Work, would you?" And I said, "I am." He said, "Oh, I love that band." He said, "Lovely music." He said, "I enjoyed that all through college." He said, "It's very good." And he chatted for a while. He said, "Do you mind if I chat to you?" I said, No, sit down." So we sat down, chatting for a while. And eventually I said to him, "What do you do yourself, David?" He said, "Oh, I work with my father." I said, "Oh, what does your father do?" He said, "Oh, he's a missionary." I said, "Oh, I'd never met a missionary, not let alone the son of a missionary." So that was interesting, you know. And he said, "Yes, well, we had a church for a while in Sierra Leone, in Africa, for many years. And then the Lord spoke to me. And my father was getting a bit older, so we decided to come back to Scotland and form a church here. So we did that. We've got a very good denomination now, and we're doing very well." I said, "That's terrific, thank you. Congratulations." He said, "Which brings me to my question for you." And I said, "What's that?" He said, "Have you thought about what the Lord means in your life?" And I said, "Oh, well, not really, David, not for quite a long time." He said, "Well, I think you should really think about it, because let's face it, Mr. Hay, you've led quite a decadent lifestyle." And I thought, well, that's true. He said, "I really think you should get your mind right with the Lord before you get too much older." Quite emphatic about it, you know. Got quite serious. I said, "Well, thank you very much for that." I said, we need to head off to the next town now to do another show. And I said, "I know you have to go." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you have to study for an exam you've got in the morning." He said, "How do you know that?" I said, "The Lord doesn't just speak to you, you know." I used to have guys that would hand me finely tuned instruments between songs. That's the first thing that goes. This is a new song. This is from my new record. It's called Now the Evermore. This song is called Man Without a Name. And I was messing around with this tune a couple of years ago, and I would just go, and you try and get somewhere with the guitar and learn different things, and you know, all different kind of chords, and then you end up just playing an E chord going, hey, fuck, that sounds good. Add a bit of a sixth. So I was messing around with this little idea, just going, whenever I would do that, I would think about Elvis. For some reason, Elvis just came into my head. And, you know, and I would practice in front of the mirror, and I would just pretend I was Elvis, you know. He didn't really dance, he just kind of fucking moved a wee bit, you know, so people went mental. What an impossibly good-looking man. People keep on saying that they keep on seeing Elvis everywhere, so maybe they do. Anyway, this is a song from the standpoint of the ghost of Elvis. I know you've seen me standing on the edges of your town. I can make you feel good if you're sad or feeling down. You need me, I'm around. I could take you on a Greyhound trip, fly a fancy plane, sit up on a mountaintop, or listen to the rain. But I don't fool myself, but if you want me, I can stay or I can go. Shadows from my past. My light was always shining bright, but I knew it couldn't last. And I'm stuck between